Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. We're going to be going over quickly a little bit about Voltick on the scanner and the scanners that the save scans that we have for everyone. Um, so basically, to go over this, we have a lot of people that have been asking for this. How do I use the scanner? What am I looking for? I personally saved 5 scans for everyone. It's the Holy Grail, the Stretched, the Elevator Down, the Overnight OI build, and the stretched down. So I'm going to explain these. I'll go through them. We'll start with what has been the absolute best. We're going to focus on the Holy Grail. There may not be any setups currently on this, which there is not, but this scan is already on your save scans. It's basically when a volt is over 3% away from the current price. I like to do volt expiration, within a week, and I like to skip the monthly. Let's just see if there's even anything for 3 months. Nope. And that could all change tomorrow when the market opens, but the volt is growing, so I want to see that specific node, the highest node, the magnet node is growing in size, so it's not losing value, it's not losing its magnetization. Basically, I want to see weeks after. So, for example, if next week Palantir, I'm just gonna say random prices, but let's say Palantir is $100 right now. Let's see next week's vault is 105. Okay. The weeks after, I want it to be 110, 110, 115. I want it to continuously grow. And that's where you see here stacking higher. The ladder of that vault is climbing. Holy Grail is when it continuously grows every week. So it would be 100 this week, 105 next week, 110 the week after, 115 the week after. That's what sets up a Holy Grail with all these settings as well. And then a stair stepper, which you're going to see, is where it could get those where it just stays still for 1 week. So you see, next week it shows a $20 volt, then a $20 volt again, and then it starts to stair step 2250, 2250. Same thing here 380, 390, 390, 395. And then we have the setups of all these. So based on what we've calculated, out of 119 times on this specific setup with TTD, it doesn't have to be this exact ticker, um, but it's just calculating where price is currently from where it has been, and has it reached there, and then closing the gap. So here we go that the node goes over 3/4 of the way to the node is 61% of the time, and then that it goes at least halfway to that. Halfway to that volt is 71% of the time. And then typically it closed about 88% of the gap. And you can see we have the setup scores. Again, total different one right here. We have the supports, we have the resistances. Of course, the supports may not be close to the names in this case because we're going off of true historic data of our nodes, what we've calculated so far. And again, we're only out for a month, so you can see the sample size is small, but the consistency is there. And we're going to continue to grow that sample size, obviously, as the site is, alive. And it's only going to make the site better. So, support of 320. This is a big, I'm guessing it's going to be a put wall that is held 97% of the time. So, again, just give you some oversight, show you how that basically works. Let's throw all this off for a second. If you wanted to just look for long setups, you could do that. You could obviously play with these settings. If you just wanted to look for short setups, and or if you wanted to look at pressing into call walls, went into a floor or ceiling, anything of that sort. So now that we went through the Holy Grail, we'll just kind of run up the list here. We'll go into our stretch scan. We have ABT here. So the stretch scan is basically when it's looking for names that have gone up a lot in the past couple of days, weeks. This one specifically was an earnings play that we actually played this week off of the earnings scan, which I was 5 for 5 last week. First time trading the earnings scan. We actually just added it next week, and we'll go over that really quickly in a bit. ABT, you could see here, the volts are just all sitting around 100 here. We could get to 105, we could possibly get to 110, but you could see 93% of the time it can reject that area over 100 times, calculated so far. So, this is coming into an area where it could possibly reject. One, I'll definitely keep on watch. We did just have Apple on the stretch scan, and that went into 335. We played that all the way down to 329. I think it went a little bit more, but we were able to get around $5 to $6 off of that to the downside. And obviously, it's not going to show up here because we already had it. It already, you know, did what was expected. Next scan we're going to do is the elevator down. So again, you're looking for bearish setups. It's going to be the same thing. Again, you can play with all these settings here. And if you just hover over them, especially if you're on a desktop, it's going to tell you exactly what it is. Maybe it's actually not. Maybe I got to fix this one here. Well, it should. So I will be checking that out. Worst case, just hit the AI analyst. You're able to ask it anything. It gives you some prompts you could write already. I mean, we're on Apple technically in the background, so it's going to bring up Apple prompts, but you could share anything, and the AI analyst will help you out on all this. Next thing is going over the overnight OI build scan. This was actually recommended by this was suggested by someone on the site. This scan has been working amazing this week. Again, nothing here right now, so no results to show you, but this one called out BIDU. We'll look at BIDU here. It called out BIDU on this day, and it said overnight open interest is building. We went from, let's just say, the 110 close, we'll call it, all the way up to 116 in 2 days. And even if you didn't, close it at there, you had it to 113. So again, great trade right there. You got over $6 of upside in 2 days of time. And again, every single thing is being, calculated and tracked. Okay, here's the stretch down scanner. We had the stretch up, which we did. Now we have the stretch down. I'm going to put stretched up here to also make that cleaner. But again, very simple, easy to use. The scanner has absolutely helped me 100% in finding plays that I would have missed personally. And again, you could hit show me around. It's going to tell you everything about the scanner. Show you about all the filters, explain it all to you here as well. Again, very, very simple. Lastly, we'll go to the earnings scan because we did talk about that for a second. Let's go to scan here, okay? And I'm going to look for names that are stacking up, okay? We're going to click that here. It's going to show you where the price is now and, how it's stacking up over the next few weeks. I've been playing this, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Let's see, Blackstone, 130, 135, 135, 140. So this one is actually very interesting to me. I'm actually going to be looking at this one, Blackstone, for a potential trade going into next week. Again, another interesting one, STM, $62 currently, 67 volt, 75, 75, 80. Another name I'm going to be looking at. And again, you're going to see the stair stepper here. And then let's look at the stack down for DHR. Price is 203. No, not that great because yes, it's under the volt, but we're $1.30 away from that one, and it's pretty tight. So something that I wouldn't play personally. But anything I'm looking at, Blackstone and STM. Other than that, quick little video. Just wanted to go over the scanner. A lot of people were asking about it. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask me. You could hit the AI analyst, or you could even go to contact support, and you can write there. Any suggestions, please put them in the suggestion box. We look at all these. And other than that, hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you later.